we are committed to urgent climate action by doubling our installed renewable capacity by 2025 and halving our operational CO2 emissions before the end of this decade. We will continue leading the way with technological innovations to reach the net zero ambition.
1 year ago, in a truly exciting moment in BCG's history, we announced a bold new commitment to achieve net zero climate impact by 2030 and to become climate positive beyond then, removing more carbon from the atmosphere than we emit each year. Now, as we mark the 1-year anniversary, we're pleased to share with you that we've increased the ambition of our greenhouse gas emissions targets, committing to cut our emissions intensity in half by 2025, a goal that's been validated by the Science Based Targets Initiative as aligned with the aim of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees C.
At Britvic, we are committed to taking urgent climate action through the decarbonisation of our supply chain as we increase our use of renewable energy. And we are working hand in hand with our suppliers to address emissions the length and breadth of our value chain, with a particular focus on our hotspots of ingredients, packaging and logistics. However, it's not just the big things that we are doing. We are also engaging with each and every one of our 4,000 employees to help them understand how we can all play our part to reduce our carbon footprint and create a better tomorrow.
We have set very aggressive reduction targets for all our emissions. In the past, we had committed to Scope 1 and Scope 2 emissions reduction by 30% and our Scope 3 emissions by 15% till 2030, but from a base year of 2018. Now we are ready to make our critical contribution to limiting the worst impacts of the climate crisis ahead of the COP26 conference. We've submitted revised targets covering all emissions in line with keeping global warming to 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial levels. Signing up to the SBTi's Business Ambition for 1.5 degrees campaign, we are committed to urgent climate action now. We will become a net zero company across the whole value chain by 2050, and we will do this by investing aggressively in not only green energy, but also energy efficiency.
We are committed to urgent climate action by drastically reducing our travel footprint, full electrification of our fleet, obligatory teleworking for part of the week, and by getting our whole organization aboard in making different choices in how we work and travel.
According to the latest forecast, the planet will warm by 1.5 degrees in just over 11 years. We have the opportunity right now to prevent the most catastrophic impacts of climate change, and at Marshalls, we're taking real action. We're committed to a 1.5 degree science-based target and to achieving net zero by 2030. And today, we're still the only ones in our industry in the UK to have an approved target. I'm proud to say that we've reduced our carbon footprint by 50% since 2008, and now all of our production sites use renewable energy. We've reduced the cement content in some products by up to 60%, and to transport our products to site, we use Euro 6 vehicles as standard.
We are committed to urgent climate action by acknowledging that our main advantage comes from our people. Recognition, environment, leadership, diversity, and inclusion are our main pillars.
Devco is an independent European real estate investment management company. We have set a net zero carbon ambition for 2040, and we are in the process of setting our science-based target in line with the 1.5 degree scenario for emissions reduction by 2030 on our path to net zero. We are committed to urgent climate action by intervening in our assets at every possible moment to drive energy intensity and carbon intensity reductions in line with the CRREM pathways. We're also taking our in-control assets off natural gas as soon as possible, going for all-electric solutions. And by 2025, we hope to have installed more than 50 megawatt peak of solar panels on the roofs of our assets to help with the energy transition and help our tenants consume renewable energy.
Every action towards limiting the global temperature rise to 1.5 Celsius counts. As buildings use about 40% of the world's energy, I invite all companies to optimize their buildings' energy use and to take fast and easy action by signing up for green electricity. At KONE, we are committed to urgent climate action all across the organization. and green energy is only one example. Today, over 60% of the electricity we use globally at KONE is from renewable sources.
We are committed to urgent climate action by setting science-based targets, setting a net zero ambition, and by getting eco-design and life cycle analysis software into the hands of as many people as fast as we can.
We're committed to urgent climate action by engaging all our employees, clients and project partners in the objectives of the Sustainability Master Plan. We'll demonstrate real and tangible initiatives on our projects that reduce our carbon footprint and increase our energy efficiency through all aspects of planning, design, procurement, construction and operation.
We are committed to urgent climate action by developing better ways to build for a world of changing demands. Aligning ourselves to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, Severfield has developed targets and KPIs to monitor progress against our sustainability objectives. We're committed to continue reducing our emissions in line with a 1.5 degree global warming scenario, also aiming for net zero by 2050. We will do this by focusing on renewable energies, manufacturing efficiencies and process optimization. We will also look at best-in-class innovation. If you haven't yet committed, ask yourself, if not now, then when?
Climate change makes people sick. It threatens the livelihood of hundreds of millions of farmers, which is our customer base. We want to help farmers to become more resilient against extreme weather events, to reduce their own carbon emissions, and to make money by removing atmospheric carbon and transforming it into soil. Bayer is part of the race to zero. We want to be carbon neutral by 2030 and help to decarbonize the agricultural sector by mid-century. More than 25% of all emissions are linked to this sector. Innovation is at the core of making that happen, and with more than 2 billion euros, Bayer has the largest innovation budget in the area of decarbonization of agriculture. Resilience, reduction of emission and removal of atmospheric carbon is at the heart of what we are doing.
We are committed to the urgent climate action by understanding how challenges under the climate crisis are interconnected. 75% of the infrastructure of 2050 will be built under the next decade. We have a responsibility and also a great opportunity to design, build, operate and finance infrastructure solutions with a regenerative approach.
We are committed to urgent climate action by taking concrete steps to help prevent the most damaging impacts of climate change. For us at Cogeco, this includes being the first Canadian telecommunications company to set an ambitious emission reduction target in line with the pathway required to limit warming to 1.5 Celsius, and that is approved by the Science Based Targets Initiative. Above all, it includes implementing a climate action plan to help us achieve our target by reducing emissions from our own operations and across our value chain, by providing products and services that support the transition to a low-carbon economy. We're also supporting overall global climate action to protect and preserve forests, and recently held tree planting activities in our communities in Canada and the United States. Ahead of COP26, we're calling on other companies across the globe to take up the call and accelerate their own climate ambitions.